Hey, in this video, I'm going to share with you how to clearly tell what phase of healing your rotator cuff tear is currently in. Now, this is not the same as the grading system that's often used whenever you get your MRI, that's used by those radiologists that are interpreting your MRI. And they're looking at the size of the rotator cuff tear. I'm talking about the phases of healing, which correlates more with how you feel in your shoulder right now, the sensation, the pain, the discomfort, and the ability that you have to do things. So let me draw you a picture of what this looks like. Let's just look at this line here. And on the left end here, we have phase 1 of healing, then 2, there's 4 stages in total. And the farther out you go this way, the more healed or the happier your rotator cuff tendon is. In phase 1, let's say this is your tendon here. So I'm just going to draw what this looks like here. The muscle would be on this end, and then it tapers down, and then it attaches to the bone on this end. And let's just say there's a big tear right here. That's the tear. It could be even a complete tear where it goes all the way across. Now, as you move into phase 2 and it heals, then what happens is that tear begins to fill in with scar tissue. So it's beginning to heal. And now over in phase 3, you have a healed scar, but the scar is still a little fresh and needs to get stronger. And so when you hit to phase 4, what we call the maintenance phase, now you barely have anything. The tissue is much more normal. Now, the way that you feel is like this. Let me draw you some faces here. In phase 1, you're not happy. This hurts a lot. You're crying. This is when it's consistently painful. Everything hurts. It hurts every day. It hurts to just be at rest. It hurts to go to sleep at night. It hurts to move your arm, especially up overhead. Behind the back is another common one that hurts because there's a big tear there. When you hit phase 2 over here, it still hurts, but it's a little more tolerable. You're just not happy though. There's certain things that are still bothering you because it's healing. There's still a tear there. The tissue is not at 100% yet. Now in phase 3, this is where people generally are happier. And I'm going to draw a slight grin here. This is where people are feeling like they can go back to doing things normally, but they're easily irritated if you overdo it because that scar there is still not 100%. It's still a weak point that if you overdo it, it's going to go backwards in this direction and you're going to end up like this. Once you strengthen this appropriately and that scar is hardly visible anymore, then that's when you're super happy and you can do everything you want to do and you're feeling very strong. Here's my attempt to draw a flexing arm. Now, along this process right here, on this end over here, you tend to have a strong muscle imbalance. In other words, your muscles are not balanced along all the way from your neck down into your elbow, even into the hand in some cases. And it ends up putting too much tension through that rotator cuff tendon. And that's what ends up causing the tear. As you get out of phase 2 and you're in phase 3, it's really important by phase 3 to be correcting that root muscle imbalance so that you're not creeping backwards and you can go this direction, really strengthen and do like weightlifting to get that tendon as strong as it can be so that it's healthy for the rest of your life. Now, where most people stop treatment after they're trying to heal from a rotator cuff naturally is they'll stop somewhere about right here between 2 and 3 because they may have taken pain medications, maybe had an injection, maybe they haven't had surgery yet, but it stopped hurting. But now they're just avoiding things that hurt them because here in this phase, they're still in pain if they overdo it, if they do something that they're not used to. If they go start doing heavy upper body exercises or have a day where they're doing a lot of yard work or housework, then they start creeping back this way. Now, another important thing to note is that even if you've had your rotator cuff problem for a long time, you can still go in this direction. That tear can scar up, and you can get it all the way to where it's just a faint line on your rotator cuff tendon, but you need to go through the proper steps. That you had a rotator cuff tear more recently, then it's just a lot more obvious. So you're going to go through these steps here. Now, if you have surgery for your rotator cuff tendon because it's torn right here, what they're doing is they're sewing this back together, or if it detaches from the bone on the end, they're pinning it back onto the bone. And you still have to go through all these healing phases because you have to get scar tissue. That scar tissue has to really scar down well. If you don't go through that strengthening phase, and it's possible, even if you've had a rotator cuff tendon repair, to go backwards because your root problem is still there. The muscle imbalance was not fixed. I've got a lot of videos here on this YouTube channel that tell you what to do in these steps so that you can heal your rotator cuff tear without surgery. But you're going to want to learn about our rotator cuff tear recovery program, where I've got this sheet that you can download and print that details all the phases, and it tells you exactly what to do in each phase so that you can progress from each level to the next and get to this point where you're feeling happy and strong. You can find a link to all the videos that we have about rotator cuff tear help here in the description below on this video. And you can also find a link to the program, to the rotator cuff tear recovery program. It's also down the link below. If this video was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this with somebody you think needs to see this. Somebody needs to learn about how their rotator cuff tendon heals. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the helpful videos that we upload every week. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.